Hello and welcome. This is HP Munchcraft, your host of Dominion 6, Rise of the Podcaster. No, we are not dead. I am here with several co-hosts, starting with Sauron. How about y'all introduce yourselves?
I am Sauron, the angry guy.
I'm Rob. I've been here before. I'm still losing games, so that's how you know that my takes are the best.
And
Premium PM.
we are joined today by two new co-hosts. So Johnny.
I'm Johnny. Ooh woo.
Okay, that's all right. And we're joined again by Forwhat, who has not been on the podcast before.
Howdy. I'm Forwhat. I'm gonna have maybe some hot takes about Dominions today.
That's what we're here for.
Listen, I'm arguing the shit side this
Today?
week, so...
What are you talking about? There's no argument here.
Pre-sabotage. All right. So today we are going to commemorate the death of this podcast by arguing death, Pog or dog. Death magic. Is
All
death
right,
magic
let's go one by
Pog
one.
or dog?
Let's
All
go one by one before we go into it.
Or dog shit. Like I think that's the actual consensus
okay.
here.
Homie.
Let's go one by one so people know our stances. Okay. For what do you think, Pog or dog?
I'm gonna say dog.
Okay, HP, what's your stance?
I'm going with Pog.
Rob, what's your stance?
I'm gonna go ahead and
You have
go
to say
dog.
one or the other. Dog? Okay. I'm gonna say Pog, and I'll explain my argument. And then Johnny, just so the audience knows, Pog or dog?
I'm going to pick, I think, dog. D-O-G. Dog.
Okay, so I think there's more of us that are in the dog argument. So do we want to start with the Pog side and then let the dog side?
Did Rob CA actually answer? Or did you just run him over?
Yeah. Rob CA said
Yes, I said
saying
dog.
dog.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we got 3 dogs and 2 Pogs. Okay, this will be interesting.
Yeah, I'm arguing the shit side. So do we start with the Pog side since we're the minority?
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're gonna.
You're saying that it's good, and you're like, I'm arguing the shit side. Like, what do you mean?
I will explain my argument.
All right. So I think we should start. For what you are a new host, so why do you think this school is dog?
Ooh, okay. So I mean, it has good spells. I do want to qualify this. Like, I think every path has good spells. Like, even like a dog shit path like Blood has like the new Wailing Winds in it.
Yeah. All right.
It's like fucking Blood Rain.
Yeah.
But in my mind, it's like it's a path that just like doesn't have anything good until like Tech 6 or higher. Maybe like outside of like some like Turbo Communion like shenanigans with like Skelly spam, but that's like really nation dependent. On like most nations, it's like basically doing jack shit for you until like Rigor Mortis. And then if you have like living troops, it's like kind of like get fucked. To me, it's a Demi-Lich wipe path. And if I could like pick a path on a nation I'd want, like if I had to pick one path to like not have, I really just think like death is the weakest right now in the game. Or like maybe
That's
one of the
Crazy pick.
Weaker than air.
weaker than air. Air's the best path.
Oh shit! All right, we'll have to argue that.
Air's-
later.
I would have said weaker than fire or water, but okay.
Wait, where's Stygian paths at?
There's
Is that
sucks
still a
now.
thing?
Yeah, it's...
Dude, I'd take like fire over death. Like that's how
So we have.
Oh wait, no, that's terrible.
bullish
we
on
have
this path I am.
We have a belated co-host joining, Darkwolf. I don't know if he's actually here or not. He just jumped into voice, but just so you know, Darkwolf, we are debating
Hi.
death magic, Pog or dog.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff to take in. Give me a second, all right?
Alright.
I'm not gonna be here the whole time because I'm watching the UFC in about 45
Jesus.
minutes.
He literally just
I'm also
shows up to
currently mapping
sabotage.
something for a campaign I'm doing, so it's gonna be a little bit 50-50. But
Just give me your
Death
take.
Magic?
Pog or dog?
Listen, can I finish talking, or do you just
No.
like feel
No.
this
No,
need
no,
to,
no,
like,
no,
make the
no.
voice?
No.
Stop
No.
listening like a
No.
quarter way through. Now I don't know what you're
Like-
talking about.
Well, that's your fault, right? It's not my issue that you guys spend so much time on TikTok and YouTube Shorts.
Okay.
Now, as I was trying to say before I was so rudely interrupted, Death Magic rocks, but it's like really, really thin, if that makes sense.
Is that a Pog or a dog?
I think I gotta hit it with a dog. On
Oh shit!
There we go.
All right, it's 2-1.
Even a broken clock is right like twice a day or something.
So
don't I own this server? Can I just ban him?
You could just ban me right now.
Can you not? No. Can you not?
Althea Wolf. You
Oh, oh wait,
Ban
that
me,
was like
Althea
another
Wolf.
Althea actually likes me. Dark Wolf does not.
Yeah, I forgot you got banned on all the fun servers, and then you're still on all the lame servers. I want to give the I know Forwhat got kind of like interrupted by Darkwolf there, but I'm gonna go ahead and give the Pog side, and I know that Death is it's a pale shadow of what it used to be. It's like got hit multiple nerfs in between these two editions, but I think Death still has a bunch of like heaters. It still has like some serious oomph, some serious game-winning spells, and then it also has like a little bit of like utility, like early utility with like the Long Dead and the Dispossessed Spirits and Shade Beasts and shit like that. So I think it actually gained a little bit of utility in the edition switch, even though it lost a lot. And I also think that like in terms of like everybody knows this, but like the bone grinding leprosy, well, nobody knows about leprosy, but bone grinding leprosy, like the rigor mortis, it still has these like big like knock out of the park, win you the game spells in Death. Maybe other paths, some other paths have, and some other paths don't really have. So
correct me if I'm wrong. Death is still one of those paths that nearly everyone can break into in the late game, right? It doesn't have accessibility issues. I didn't have any accessibility issues in 5 at least. Almost everyone can break into it.
The big accessibility problem in Death is just the going from D2 to D5. If you have D4 or D5 naturally, you have all the spells. And if you have, essentially it's very easy to break into from D1 up to like D3. But then the D3 to D5 generally
is enormous.
You need an empower there, and that can be kind of crippling.
Yeah,
or you need to roll lucky on like the Lamia Queen or whatever the fuck.
I just did a write-up recently, so I'm very familiar with the break-ins.
Oh my god, write-up, bro. He wrote a 3-page article.
Shut the fuck up, Darkwolf. You don't even play anymore.
Bro, you could get the 4th page on Patreon if you send them $9.90.
All right,
so is Wraith Lord still a summon, or did it get lit?
It's a summon.
Wraith Lords are still
If you're looking at a pretender with Death 5, you can still get up to Death 4 with summons, right? So I think the main issue I have with this path is that it's very narrow focused, and the things you want to do with it can be accomplished by having a pretender rather than a nation with Death. So having a lot of Death Mage isn't that useful, in my opinion, because I think when you have a small amount of high Death, you can get enough Death to fulfill all the functions of Death, which is why I think it's not that good a path. Because a really good path, you would need a lot of mages to fulfill all its functions, but Death has a very narrow area where you want it to function.
I actually, that pretty much takes what I partially disagree, right? Because I think there's some things like you can scale with, but I do think Death's main weakness is like you can tell immediately what someone is going to do if they have Death. Like it is entirely predictable. No, but you can like there's 3 things in the roster, but they're all very different, right? And like it doesn't scale well with army size compared to what it used to, right? Like it isn't. It's you've got your fucking Wind of Death. You know what I mean? For wiping, and bone grinding, right? Like it's got good wipes.
If you have the cross path.
Yeah, it's got good wipes, and it's got like darkness, which is like always nice. But like besides that, right? Besides those like not late game per se, but very like divisive spells that work with specific strategies. You've got like what cross path stuff, which like Banefire, or like Shadow Blast isn't very good, and then you've got like what Skelly Spam.
Shadow Blast blows, yeah.
Yeah, you got
I mean, it's good against box formation. If someone's doing box, like Shadow Blast can be amazing.
Shadow Blast
but against anyone with a brain.
I think people would actually use it, though, if they made it Def 3 and then got rid of the gym requirement.
I agree.
Oh, yeah. But it might be pretty strong, but I think that would be okay, because like a lot of the offensive spells, generally you're just casting what? Fucking skeletons in combat. And then you can off-script...
Also, Shadow Blitz... Shadow Blast already takes too much fatigue. It's 100 fatigue for a 2 death spell.
Well, that's because it's a gem
your Death
spell.
Mage is already out. Like he's complete. He's ready to go drink a beer and go to bed.
I mean, can we just agree that Shadow Blast sucks?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people will disagree with us, but I think it sucks. I've always said it sucks.
I understand.
I think,
okay, it's Area 9 and it's AN, so there's like a way you can use it. Like I get you can make it situationally useful, but yeah, it costs the fucking gem for a 35 fucking range like dunk that your guy's gonna shoot a fucking projectile out and gonna whiff.
I mean,
your own guys. It's like, ew.
I like Bolt of Unlife way more than I like Shadow Blast because I will actually get off scripted and do something.
Dude, I hate Bolt of Unlife because it gets fucking off scripted over like good stuff.
Well, yeah, but I'd rather have it like it's the only thing they're casting is that in skeletons. Like, what else would you prefer them have? Like Ghost Grip? Like, I don't know.
I mean, like
Ghost Grip is okay in very specific scenarios, but I think that Death really needs something that's like Banefire but neutral, something armor negating like Dust to Dust. It's weird there's no like quarter power Dust to Dust version for Evos for Death, because I think Death would benefit a lot from having some sort of removal like Lightning Bolt, but specifically for Death, because they have Dust to Dust, which is really good against undead, but they have absolutely no answer for anything living. When it's literally called Death, you should be able to kill stuff.
Death is also like extremely reliant on crosspath.
Wait, before we let this go off the rails, so for what spell were you gonna say? And Rob, you haven't said anything for a while, so I want to highlight that.
For once, yeah, you heard that right there was snipping at you, Ruff. He's saying you talk too much.
Well, it's just hard for me to interject when everybody else is talking.
Yeah, let's try to balance.
Yeah, that's true. Well, they can break in though, Dar.
Oh, that's true. You got the dial.
Well, what spell were you gonna say for it? Because I didn't catch it.
Like Death is like the really strong battlefield enchantments, rigor, or like to hit everybody, and spells, Bone Grinding, Wind of Death, Rigor Mortis. But like the thing about these wipes is that like they're really hard to use outside of like the context of a demi drop or a thug or like 7 assholes in a communion who like die afterwards. It's hard to use these in like pitched army fights.
I don't think it's that hard, but that's me.
that right there is insane.
What do you mean?
Army fights Death, because what I think of first is like turn timer, and that's actually counterable.
Like Rigor Mortis is like gonna like fuck up your own dudes in Wind of Death. I mean, I guess you could do like the Celerial skeleton squad.
Well, no, I'm thinking.
I don't know. If you're using Wind of Death in a pitched battle, you're actually shooting yourself in the foot as well.
Wind of Death, but I'm thinking of like just the basic like with Rigor Mortis, just like the basic like Rigor Howl sort of thing, where it's like
Rigor Howl Relief.
Yeah, that just feels like another not even
rigor relief, but like rigor relief in a pitched army battle. But it's like there are a lot of ways that you can get like monster gen or some amount of undead monsters and like just rigor your own guys and it not matter. I
think Death has a thing, right? Like Death has a thing, but like 7 flavors of fatigue or like fatigue plays to make everyone go tired or make everyone useless. Like ultimately, a lot of the counters are the same. All right, okay, the enemy's doing all this shit. Let me just summon 20 fire elementals. Battle start.
Yeah, I really think that like fire and water have like become really good, especially since resistances are so much more expensive. The battlefield wide warding spells have been pushed to enchantment 8. I really think that like the new like Heat from Hell and Grip of Winter, it's like they can be countered, but that's almost like a good thing sometimes because you can paint your own troops with it, and then like your living troops are immune to it, and you just like crap one of them out.
Yeah, I think
that's one of the good things about Shill Winter's new edition is that they're buffing the things that have counterplay and taking away some of the universal resistances. So there's incentive to play things with counterplay because now they're stronger, right?
But that's kind of like one of my problems with like rigor is that you really have to like design either your entire army around using it or just it's one of the things you crap out when your demi-ledge drops on a dude,
Yeah, no, that's you. There is no like death. Like
it's a great utility path.
Okay,
it's a great utility path, but like there should be like a death spell, right? where you like animate your people when they get tired or some shit. Like it doesn't matter, right? But like
Death needs real buffs. I agree.
Death needs
They need
like,
AoE buffs. Yeah.
all of its spells, right, are based around casting shit to make your skeletons good. But the skeletons, like the undead you summon, are not efficient enough or good enough to be worth all of that. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think you even have to do too much to make Death very good. I think you add some some better ritual summons that are more efficient, and suddenly the path can feel a lot better because.
Okay, so hot take. I think Skeletal Legion should give quickness and only affect undead.
Holy shit!
Okay,
that's nice.
Holy shit!
All right.
Who's cast that in the last 10 years?
That's a literal like. I'm probably gonna cast that spell at some point, but
no, you're not. Come on.
No, you're not.
It gives you disease. Are you kidding me?
It gives you disease
everyone
in exchange for pierce.
When I find listen, when I find the people who are like all like fucking pierce dependent, you know, when I play against Machaka or whatever.
The first instance this word has been said in the Dominions, like, oh, they're pierce dependent. Who looks at an army and says, oh, they have a bunch of pointy sticks?
I have been listen ever since I noticed MA Machako is pierce dependent last edition and was like, oh damn, that's another reason this nation sucks. I've been looking to have an army where I could say, oh, this army's blunt dependent. I'm gonna get him.
Yeah, you already have it though, HP.
You know, I almost got a tumor in my head there. I was about to eat Maryland Day 2.
See, this is why I like Johnny, bro. Because he comes in with the real pig.
Whatever.
What I was gonna go for, right, is I did want to springboard off something Dark Wolf said and go into the conj summons, because I think even though the spirit form conj summons got fucked, I think that like now like the utility conj summons have gotten better. So like,
oh, they're so much better. I think.
Wait. Okay, so the only one I think is actually good. What are the dogs called again?
Shapebees are great.
Yeah, so the dogs are ethereal. Now that no one has magic weapons, they're okay.
Yeah. Well, now that there's an underground layer with dark. So
okay, so before we continue, I'm going to coin this term. I'm going to call it magicflation, or M-whatflation for short. Okay.
All right.
Now, addition to addition, magic weapons get harder to get, is what I'm seeing as a trend here.
Because Illwinter put a tariff on the magic weapons, right?
Oh,
yeah, it's like 350% more expensive to get magic weapons.
Because of the magic weapon tariff, right?
Yeah.
You know what didn't get any cheaper?
What?
Whites.
I think whites are okay at 20.
Maybe good.
I would never like.
Almost every other conjuration spell in the entire game got buffed, like ritual spell, except for whites.
I was going to bring this up. I think whites and Banes, like they were over talked about in like Dom 4 and stuff. And I think they're pretty good nowadays. Like summoning just Banes and throwing them in your army.
He's just yapping.
No.
Okay.
No, I think Banes are better. Real talk. They have 20 map move.
That's all because nothing kills anything anymore.
Yeah, that's because shit ain't killing you. And death gems you can like sell off for a dime a dozen.
It's Legion of Lights. So Legion of Lights, you're paying like one death gem per white.
Yeah,
but Legions of Whites is a level 9, and let's be honest.
It's a level 9, so who cares?
Let's be honest.
I think you would see it in like a Iridia game, and it would be okay because you have more money than sense at that point. And you don't have any sense at all if you're playing an Iridia game. But besides that,
yeah, it's not like we've played this twice.
Look, Tartarian Gate went down to 7. Oh, I'm pogging out. No.
Yeah, let me just climb.
Tartarian Gate been good? You didn't even play Dom 4.
No, it was never good. It was never good, Johnny.
It's good in the very late game.
Oh God!
Oh, now that people have
Tartarian Gate's not it's Death Zone.
It's a 9. What do you mean?
People have access to Corpse Stitcher. Tartarian Gate is
like what 9 spells do we actually want to talk about? Like, oh, you have Army or you have.
That's a good one.
No, you brought up the 9 spells.
Unironically, level 9 spells in Death are piss. Like, sorry.
Army of the Dead is Pog. Fuck you.
What are you talking about?
Click on Army of the Dead.
I am clicking on it, and my eyes are hurting.
It's
like 250 guys for 10 gems. That's remote.
God, not this again.
It's time for some game theory.
You and HP love just summoning bad units over and over again.
But like putting efficient utilities in level 9, where like other paths where like there are just game-winning grand slams. Is like just underwhelming. It's like, yes, Army of the Dead is a very good spell, but it's not a game-winning spell. It's just an efficient utility, right?
Not as good as
you're never winning the game off the back of this. So like putting it in 9 is just kind of a joke.
Yeah, it's literally.
Do you think Army of the Dead is good? I don't see it.
It's efficient. It's
efficient.
It's 10 gems for about a million dudes.
That's a mage turn.
That's fine.
Yes, it's a mage
Johnny,
turn.
Death for some chat.
Who cares about mage efficiency at that late in the game?
Johnny, you can spend 10 death gems for 300 siege strength.
It's good.
That's what you.
What, a Long Dead? Long Dead doesn't have 3 siege strength.
I mean, I want to.
No, you get 100 long dead
long
and you get 150 soulless.
So
no, the soulless is only if there's corpses in the province.
No, it just summons the soulless.
It says if there is soulless in the province.
Up to 150 will join the attack if there are unburied bodies present.
If there are unburied bodies present.
Yeah, there have to be corpses in the province. Johnny's right. That's how it's always.
Still, but you can get. I mean, you can get 300.
Big News Network.
All right, whatever.
I want to.
I mean, it's still good.
I want to call.
Okay, so I will give you that it is like exponentially better than Dom Vai's version of it. But I still don't see why anyone would want to go out of their way for Enchantment 6 just to get this. So they're going to Enchantment 6 to get Spouty or some other.
This is Enchantment.
That's not Enchantment 6. That's Enchantment 9, dog. You're looking at carrying reanimation.
Yeah, so they're going to Enchantment 9 for these game-winning globals. They are not going there for Army of the Dead.
I'm not
Enchantment 9
Army of the Dead is
Lichcraft.
consequential to going there.
Okay.
Lichcraft is then Enchantment 9 now.
Cold take. Okay, Lichcraft sucks now.
They murdered that spell.
Yeah, they murdered the hell out of it.
It gives you +1 death.
Who cares?
Okay, so like, are you going to Yosemite Park for like the nice bathrooms on the way? Or are you going there to see like the geysers or something? Like, that's my question.
The geysers?
Well, geyser. One, it's geyser. Two.
Hold on. For the chaos we're losing for what in here?
Let me finish because
Okay,
I have a lot to say. All right, so I actually like what they are trying to do with death thematically. I like the Lichcraft change. I just feel like they should. How do I explain it? If they're gonna commit to like this thing where death becomes more and more of like the undead path, where you summon undead and then put a bunch of like spells on the field that are only good if your army's undead, then I think they need to commit more by making the undead you get with it better. Make the Lich have like a bonus to summoning shit, like a massive one, right?
Oh, they'll never
make
do
it
that.
Where there's like,
well, they'll never do
like put like a conch 5 or a conch 4 summon that's like some skeleton knight or some shit, and then a conch 7 one that's some like, I don't know, like
they already have
giant.
Pim Riders. What do you mean?
Yeah, but something actually good, like something.
Pim Riders are okay.
Pale Riders are.
No,
Pale Riders are efficient, but like I'm talking about like stuff where as like a death nation that commits into the path, right? Like you have a bunch of death mages. You are heavily encouraged to summon.
Dark Wolf. Here, let me read you one. So instead of changing the death units, they should get rid of all their HP. They'll make their HP 1, but they'll give them 20 undying HP at base.
Oh, that works.
What the fuck?
20? 20?
Yeah, so
wait, if
after
they're all
they
undead,
go under 1, you'll lose them after the battle, but they'll be fucking baller in that battle.
Don't you not lose them after the battle if they're undead?
And they can't regen. They're undead, so it doesn't
matter.
All
right, hold on. We're losing people?
No, don't you not lose them after the battle if they're undead?
So,
Isn't that
I think they are just bathing in the glory.
Can we?
Bro, Forwat needs to slam his dick on the table, start raising his voice.
Yeah, I need to slam my dick on the table.
Yeah,
I mean,
just talk over these clowns.
My main issue with death is like not what happens to it like after Enchantment 6. I think like it's basically fine after that. It's like I think it's just such like a dead path like before Tech 6 is hit. I think like every other path has like a better
like
capacity to play make before that. Like okay, like air I can do like some like Mistform Shockwave bullshit. Cloud Trapeze, whatever, like fire, like even like Fire Blast is like surprisingly good in this version, and it has like a decent buff. You know, water has quickness. I mean, I feel like every path is like doing something important in the early game, or like could.
I would.
Death is like meh.
Death and blood. Well, we're not talking about blood in this episode. Yeah.
What do you think about Construction 5 on Death though? Because that's Amulet of the Dead, and that's like one of the best items in the game.
That's it. They only have Amulet. Like for utility, Death is great.
Yeah, but that's a really good item.
That's a very...
master, you can put it on scouts. It's stealthy rating.
Okay.
You can put it at the back of your army. All of a sudden, you have infinite chat for the rest of the battle.
All right.
Like, that's 100 skeletons.
This is a ultra hot take, right? But
Let's hear it.
Everybody is saying like Death is bad, but apparently Death is not bad enough to actually spend all your death gems on Skull Mentors instead of combat death stuff. So
you know, you just walked up to us and you're like, murder is bad, but apparently murder is not so bad. Like we're all going to start killing ourselves to stop people from murdering us.
All right, I didn't get that reference at all.
No, what I'm saying,
wrong.
What I'm saying is like
it came out right in my head.
Like when you spend fire gems on fire lanterns, right? Everybody knows, like, that's a good trade. Like, you would much rather have the lantern than the combat power the gems represent. When you spend air gems on owl quills, you know, that's a little iffier. That's like... But generally, people get it.
Stupid is what it is.
I don't think
I think with certain strategies...
Is the Skull Mentor 5 death gems?
It's 10.
No, it's 10. It's 10
no, that's why.
Research.
It's not that Skull Mentor is a bad item. It's just overpriced.
But my point is that... Like, death gems aren't so devalued that people will actually willingly spend them on the Skull Mentor.
But like,
let me spin you this. What if they made Skull Mentor half price for Death Native Nations?
Then it would be busted.
I'm hyped with it. Like, this is
okay, so now all of a sudden it is good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now that it costs a fire lantern for the nations that actually need it because they're dog shit otherwise.
Yeah, like this is like I get what you're saying, right? But you were like prospecting, like, why aren't death gems worth less than a penny? Like that's like you're going down to the ground floor.
I think we are ignoring something though with death. Like there's a lot of problems like early game, but like it does give you utility with like some of you might not like this, but you get the invulnerability soul vortex G's with certain chassis depending on your nation. And that is significant for rating, so I don't think it's all bad. Like this, I hate it because I see it so commonly, but you know that it has certain things.
Well, vulnerability is really good this edition. It's just a problem that's connected to like Stygian Reigns, which is very specific, has specific cross paths, and comes in very late at a bad path or school. Right?
You know,
Evo 7, how are you going to hit that with most nations? And most nations don't have a Death Water cross path. That's like one of the
invulnerability is this D3, and so is Soul Vortex. So
there's a Conjuration summon to get Death Water, but she's also bound to the province. She has Hope Sickness, right?
The Cockwood.
Yeah, the Hades, Stream of Hades.
Streams from Hades.
If they remove the homesickness, this might see some use, but it's still ridiculous.
She doesn't have homesickness.
No, you're thinking of the Naiad, bro.
The Naiad has homesickness.
She's not a Naiad? What does she have?
She's got Death 3 Water 3. She's just a
Oh no.
There's a good nation right there.
What nation?
Chuds, land of the Chuds.
That's just HP.
Oh wait, no. Okay, so she costs 40 water gems. That's why she's bad.
You could have told me that.
Yeah,
I don't know
water.
Okay,
it's a water
there is some idea of this being a unit, but Shieldwinter has decided that you can't afford it, and they'd rather sell it to the highest bidder. So like.
By the way, I have some opinions that I have formed looking more at the spell list because I've barely played Dom 6 because I found the game less fun.
Oh my God.
I mean, Dom 6 is less fun. That's all there is to it.
Soren, you need to have some patience, bro. I'll try it, though. Like, listen, host that game, HP. Anyway.
Okay.
Death also is less cool than the other path. Like, unironically, there's less cool shit. Every path has a bunch of cool shit. Death's cool shit is all shit.
I like the turbos, but that's nation specific.
I think
what's
the problem is that like
Death's cool.
Death's cool
Whites
shit
are cool.
I think that Death's cool shit just doesn't get cast. Like, because who's gonna fucking cast Plague, right?
Yeah, it's just not. It's not usually good.
I mean,
then
it's
I
a
should make
beyond-
things like
Plague
poison,
is-
but 10 times as fast, and they like rot to death or something.
Yeah.
Who's gonna
Oh,
get
they nerfed Burden
We
of
mentioned
Time in this
leprosy
edition.
earlier. You guys want to know something funny about leprosy?
What's up?
It inherits the pen bonus from your items in high path.
That's hype. I
Yeah,
didn't even know
I mean,
that.
that's what we
But
were
you're doing
doing.
an Eye of the Void, and then they'll
Did you
fucking...
mean plague or leprosy?
Leprosy.
No, I'm talking about the ritual disease one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
You
course
can,
it
you
does.
can literally pen
Why
boost
wouldn't
it.
Why
Yeah,
wouldn't
no,
you be
that's
able
good.
to?
No, I'm talking about the
the
plague
problem
spell.
with leprosy. The
The
problem with
in
leprosy.
combat one.
There's
Yeah.
no problem with leprosy. It's just good.
I mean, leprosy
Yeah,
wait,
kicks
it's
ass.
good.
You can leprosy someone
leprosy-
every turn of this entire game and run
Listen,
away,
listen.
and there's nothing they can do about it.
Leprosy is hype. Don't get me wrong, but it's like more utility. When like that's
Well,
all
that's
the
why you
paths
climb
and
death.
No,
in
it's
my
not
opinion.
utility. That actually wins battles because people don't think about disease being that bad.
Yeah, but if
really,
you're-
it attritions your entire army.
But
They
we were
buffed
saying it's the
disease in
same
6,
shit as
Johnny,
Shadow
if you're not
Blast.
aware, by the way.
They buff disease again?
Wait, they
So
buffed
it
disease?
removes permanent HP now. So you even
Yeah,
if
you can't
it-
regen it.
Oh,
it
you can't
removes
regen it.
permanent.
Really,
That should have been a thing in the first place.
yeah, really, it's just kind of a nerf to disease healers because it's like you're like, oh yeah, I cured you of your disease, and now you're a 5 hit point man.
I mean, they still haven't
Just
fixed like your pretenders can be disease garbage, but
That's no intended.
Agreed.
That's intended.
Intended.
You have too
Oh.
much faith in Shieldwinter.
I mean,
I have a,
why
I have a
D
question
had so
for
much
you guys.
love.
All right, what's your question, CA?
Yep.
If disease is buffed, is foul air a good spell?
No.
Foul
Right,
air
next
has never
question.
been a good spell. It's not even
I mean,
a
it's
spell.
cancer in combination with like burden versus certain
Yeah,
nations.
doesn't-
Okay.
It applies disease
That's
to
actually
people
how
when
I
they
died
get
in
wounded
Magic
in
Explodes
combat,
with
right?
Lola.
Yeah, I know. That's why. Like, there's certain
Well,
combinations
I was
with
also
that.
playing TNGs. All my dudes started
remember
low,
that.
so they
I
made like
remember
6
that.
disease checks a
I mean,
turn.
I remember that.
Doesn't
That shit was hilarious.
doesn't it randomly
Could've
disease
made that
people
as
who are
bad.
fighting halfway across the map?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, foul air is one of those spells. Basically, if you're doing well via foul air, it's because you're doing dirty, filthy exploits. I mean, like, I hate to say
That's
that.
not true.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, no,
absolutely
you
true.
you get
Well,
your,
if you get
get
an
your
affliction,
dummy lich, right, and you get somebody to cast foul air, and then you start teleporting them everywhere, and you just cast bone grinding once, and you just disease everything. Right?
Right, exactly. Or you know, you have
Or-
a blood guy
or
who
you're
casts
playing
that,
Urmor.
like, yeah.
Omar is. They didn't get buffed. I mean, they got
I
buffed,
know,
but
Urmor.
they're still the same. donkey.
Death has a bunch of these spells that like they're globals that you can cast if you want to fight everyone in the game. And
By the
fucking-
way, anyone who's going to defend
What's up?
MA or more in the comments, Magic
I mean,
exists.
Listen, if
Here comes
like
Cronbon.
honestly,
Oh,
if you
no.
are unironically playing MA Ermor and you walk up and you slam foul air and you just man mode it and you disease all the living when you walk into them with your skeletons, like, fair play to you. But like, generally speaking, this spell is for when you're going to cast it and then you're going to just subject people to multiple different combat phases and battlefield hits and just get a million chances to disease everybody and be like an exploitive little gooner. And that's
I mean, there's
You
some
know,
nasty combos
that-
with
that-
Doom. The
No.
Doom golems that teleport on
yeah
you.
Yeah, that's
like
it.
it's
Nick and
all
I
it's
does that,
all
bro.
just exploits. Like it's not
Nick
I
and
subbed
I-
into him. Like,
That's in the game. That's not exploiting yet.
that's not exploiting. That's just playing like an asshole. That's not exploiting.
Assassin's
I mean-
resisting is an exploit. But, like
still,
everything else, that's fair
same
game.
difference. It's only like
no,
it's only
no,
becomes
it is
a
not
good...
the same difference.
Okay.
An exploit is only an exploit once it is against the intended effects of something in the game. That is not against the intended effects. The Winter is just bad at calculating them.
Well, it's like not it doesn't interact with the intended effects because Illwinter has no idea that these combos even exist. They're like,
I mean, listen, maybe they do know they exist. Give
I
them
feel
some
like the
credit.
game is designed
Maybe it's
like
intended
I feel like a
for
big
ignorance, but I think we're
Yeah.
actually being distracted from the main point of death. Like,
yeah.
you
Speaking
have
of
a
which,
path called
everyone's
death, right?
yeah.
And there's not
okay.
a single spell in this game called kill. But if you think of death, you should be able to just kill a dude. But there's no
At like-
spell
at
called
like
kill a
Evo.
dude.
There's a
Evo
spell
9?
for that though, Johnny.
Disintegrate.
It's
Yeah.
disintegrate.
Yeah,
It's
well,
literally
Inverted
the
Gates,
spell.
Okay, so
What's funny
okay,
is-
we have life for a life, right?
Yeah.
But why is there no death for your life?
Death for a death? I need to mod that in.
Well, they do have Drain Life.
No.
They do Drain Life. I
Death
like
for
Drain
a
Life.
death that just does 40 AN and you spend a death gem to just do 40 AN to a single person.
What, we need to nerf
why is that-
SCs
why
even
is that-
more?
I don't understand why it wouldn't.
Death for a death.
No, I
They need
think
to
that is...
nerf, they need to nerf SCs
You know
even
what?
more.
No, I agree.
Okay, no, this is what I'll say. I think that's uncreative. There should be like at high Evo, right? There should be like a soul vortex that you just like throw at people, and it's like an AOE.
There is, right?
Evo.
That's leeching
There
darkness,
is.
right?
No,
Yeah.
it's not even Leeching Darkness. There's literally one called where is it? It's an evocation.
How many times
Vortex
are we gonna
of
go
Unlife.
darkness in one day? That's still
Oh my
not a
god,
good
that is a
spell.
thing. So why is it
It's called Vortex of Unlife. It exists
So-
already.
So this I'm gonna springboard off this because this is something I've noticed. There are a lot of really cool, potentially very strong
That takes Death 5.
death spells that are they haven't had their
Shit,
range
people,
changed since like Dominions 1, and so they're like all range 25 and 30, and so you will never script them or hit them in any real game whatsoever, unless you were
that's
having
not even
like
what the
liches like jog up the field with boots on, and then like their
Well,
far
honestly,
is gone.
Vortex of Unlife should be a D3 spell.
Yeah,
Because Chain
that's-
Lightning.
Life is not
It should be
like
fucking
there
Evo
needs to be
8, like
something
Jesus.
more efficient.
Yeah.
Well,
And
no,
even
the-
the-
I
Vortex
think
of Unlife.
there's
all of
nothing
these
wrong.
spells are so hard to
having-
cast, right? They're
Yeah.
so hard to cast compared to any like Vortex
Chain
of
Lightning's
Unlife is
A3.
Death 5. Let's go check what all of the other spells at Evo 8 are, right? Are any of them
That shit should be
X5
Death
and they
2
don't
at
even
Evo
cost
fucking
gems?
8.
No.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
the requirements are like ludicrous for some of the like more obscure spells. Like how many mages do you think people have that are like in the five?
Basically, they just designed these so that vampires and liches would cast them, and then they took away vampires and liches.
Wait, so why does Pillar of Fire have 2, but it does more damage on average than this Vortex of Unlife?
So you
Yeah,
want me to?
more
because
range.
It's not Area of Effect 8.
No, it has a lingering cloud effect though at 10.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah, but
like,
that's a level 2. That's less damage.
You would have to try it in game. I don't know how effective it is.
No,
because I
35
never.
the thing
AP
is, right?
damage with lingering cloud is somehow
Here's
worse
my
than
thing with
this
it
Vortex of
conceptually.
Unlife at D5.
Alright,
You could
what's-
have 5
what's-
mages casting Pillar of Fire. For
What's your
almost
thing with
nothing.
it conceptually, Dark Wolf?
Well, I have 2 things. One, everyone keeps talking about all the utility in Death. I feel like every path has just as much utility and then
Yep.
more direct usage. That's, I think, the
Well, you
first
can
thing.
go into the water and the underground with Death. Like,
Okay, you're like, yeah, it's got a lot of utility, but so does every path, right? Like,
nah.
I
Fire-
think
Fire ain't got shit for
I think
utility.
modern wood doesn't have
oh yeah,
wood doesn't have
fire
utility.
prevents you from being killed by fire.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
fire
say.
prevents you from
I
being
wouldn't say that, Dark Wolf. Like fire
Does it
does
not?
not help you go underwater, and the only fire spells you get, like fire's okay. Like they got some nice buffs with the thaumaturgy changes and the con changes with salamanders.
Fucking,
And
the salamander asps are fucked up. Like those.
I think they just die to earth elementals, and you guys just like because no one fucking summons earth
Listen,
elementals
no.
anymore. They're
Listen, no, it's not about summoning earth elementals. It's like the fire needed it. They needed like
Well,
swarm.
yeah,
They
yeah,
got
I-
they got a swarm, right? It's
But
like
fire-
it's like saying like
fire-
swarm dies.
Yeah,
to
they
earth
got
elementals,
swarm
who
with
cares?
death poison, like
Yeah.
fucking.
I mean, that's fine.
that's fine. That's fine
I love
because
it.
the past
I love
sucked
it.
dick before.
Yeah.
Let them have
So
it.
fire has a way to deal with disease, right? Fire has.
Okay.
What do you
okay.
mean? It deals with
Okay.
disease.
What?
What?
Pyre of catharsis? Like, come on,
Fire
man.
of catharsis.
You
like
Get
can't-
it.
real.
You don't you
No.
target yourself with that? Can you even target?
You
other-
light yourself
No,
on
it's
fire. No, that's trash.
You can make you can
Fire-
build around that.
I have
Fire
never seen
has-
anyone cast that.
I haven't either.
Yeah, but that's because you only see your shit, bro. What you can't see if someone else is casting fire.
You
of
can't.
catharsis. Anyway,
You can't cast Fire of Catharsis unless you have a Fire 3 caster, and he can only cast
Fire-
it on himself.
That's listen.
okay,
All you people
Yapper.
who are bitching
fire
about
also
diseases
has
on your
lightless
pretender.
lantern.
That's why your pretender needs to be F3. Bam.
Yeah,
Problem
Fire
solved.
I'd
also
rather
has
be
lanterns.
D fucking 5 and eat
Fire
the
has
fucking people or
lanterns.
whatever.
it has fucking remote. It's got all sorts of shit. It's got the fire resistances. All right, just lanterns is already enough utility if we're honest.
Like,
Like,
Listen,
like,
that's
heat
a seven.
cell, Firestorm. I
If I
think
might-
like
if
the
I
new.
might-
But we're not talking about fire in this episode. This is a death episode.
no, but what I'm saying, you use
Well,
that as a counter.
I
What
think it
I'm
makes
trying
sense.
to say, is that like death is so thin, right? and everyone's like, "But Death is a great supporting path. Death is a great supporting path."
I'm
But,
not
like,
saying that. I'm saying it's
It's
No,
not
I'm the only one who likes it as utility here. I'm
yeah,
the
like
only Pog.
I just said I
has
like this.
utility, but it's not.
Did you
it's
say
not-
it? Oh,
I
okay,
literally
that's
just said
But
that.
there's other paths that also have a lot of utility, but also have much wider like usage.
I mean, like,
I
In
think Death
addition-
should have AoE buffs. That's my
Earth-
hot take.
Earth
Yeah,
is-
Death
should,
doesn't
yeah.
like
But it
Death
doesn't.
doesn't make sense because it's got like
Okay.
the super high research Evo
hot
and
take.
shit, like the super high research spells. Yeah, whatever.
Death getting AoE buffs would be fine, but they should only apply to undead. I don't think you should. Like, I actually like
Put
the fact.
another MR in fucking Death.
I think Unholy Power should be able to be casted by anybody, or like some version of Death.
Or something like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like the fact that Death isn't something that you just cast on all your living shitters and have them get like random buffs.
ain't
Which
even
for
good,
some
bro.
reason is like doesn't want you to buff the undead at all unless you have
Why
like
are
a
all the
nation
undead
specific.
buffs? Yeah, they're all
It's
holy,
bizarre.
bro.
When you can get like Unholy Power on like the fucking what's that like one Wraith summon guy with like the big ass sword?
What?
Well,
Wraith
oh,
Lord?
right.
Yeah, it might be like a Bane or something.
Wraith,
I-
White
I think-
Bane.
I think it's
Yo,
a
I think you're
no,
wrong.
Bane Lord. Bane
Yo,
Lord.
guys, why do we have a homeless man in our podcast?
I'm just talking about
Yeah.
the Bane.
What do you mean a homeless man?
He clearly hasn't played the game.
What do
I,
you
I,
mean?
think
what are you
Bane is a
talking
good armor
about?
thug.
What are you fucking
What
talking
do you
about?
mean, homie?
Can
Wait,
I
you're
raise a
Corpse
couple
Commander?
points that I had?
By the way, Corpse Candle, great spell. Fuck
Corpse
you.
Candle is a great spell. It kicks
Let's
ass.
go around.
Yeah,
it's alright.
no,
I mean-
it's just a wisp. It's just a
Okay,
little
okay.
wisp.
Actually, that is a problem.
Which
So,
is a good spell.
No, Corpse Candle gives you one more. So it is technically a little better. But
I like it as utility
I
against
do-
SC.
I like Corpse
You're not
Candle.
getting much for one extra path.
Yeah, exactly. I like Corpse Candle, but I do see Johnny's point in that, like, if you have F1, you can already cast the Wisp, so the fact that it's in Death is just purely pointless. Like,
There's also like two nations with that cross path. Now.
it's like
That's not true.
you can
That's
get that
Machaka?
cross. Well,
It's
okay.
Machaka and the Satislan.
The other thing is it's one of the few things that like a low death fire can cast, but then
Yeah,
a lot
it's
of
one of
the
the few things that would summon Anthrax
but like a high death fire doesn't give a shit about it, and so you have like a lot of shit with death fire that's like, oh, I'm a Lystragonian tyrant. Oh, look at me, I'm a
Yeah, they're never gonna cast.
Dione. They're not casting fucking wills.
That's
of
like
the
in your
Wisp.
opinion, man.
Yeah, that is my opinion, but like. I mean,
I
it's
like
a,
it
the
where-
point of it?
it's a
specifically.
staple for your
And-
Machaka
and
shitter who can't
Wake
cast
Gods.
anything else, you know?
So I
Listen,
have,
it's
two, I have
relevant
two other
in the
issues with
monster
Death
meta.
Magic.
Or
Alright, what's your issue with Death Magic, CA?
So the first issue I have is that the two major buffs that the path does have, right, that could be potentially useful spells, either disease all of your guys and they're basically useless on Long Dead anyway, right, in the form of the Pierce Resistance, which
Right.
Long Dead already have, and they're the ones who you would cast it on who are immune to disease. So why would you ever cast it?
Yeah.
Skeletal
That's
Legion.
where my proposed change comes into play here. So
And then
what
the
was the
other
one they
one
nerfed it?
is right, Stygian Reigns, which not only does it not explicitly not work on undead,
Yeah.
inanimate undead, it also
Bullshit.
buffs your enemy too. So you have to have magic weapons, or it greets you.
Stygian skin should be AoE one.
Well,
Fuck you.
no. Oh, yeah. Stygian
It should be
Reigns-
AoE.
actually, I have a better idea now. So,
Oh, no.
Skeletal Legion, we should make that give all undead natural protection 10 and all resistances.
Why
And
does-
then we make
what-
Rigor Mortis give all undead quickness while it's active.
I'd rather kill myself.
Why don't we-
I take it back. Johnny's a genius.
Why don't we why don't you make like new spells
Darkness
for
good
the
spell,
new effects
obviously.
and have the old spells do
Bro,
the,
I thought this shit was supposed to be on ESPN. What the fuck?
Oh, the other issue that I had. with
ESPN
Death
ain't got
here.
no death magic.
No, that's right.
Yeah, get out of here,
On my
fucking.
TV.
They don't got shit.
The other issue I had with Death Magic is that none of the globals, besides Well of Misery, actually help you to win the game. They just grief other people. right? Because like, does other dark help you? Unless you
True.
have dark power on everything, it does nothing,
You're
right?
forgetting the main meta of this game. There's two metas in this game. It's Diplo or motivation, and you want to take away as much motivation as you can.
I actually agree with Johnny. I unironically agree with Johnny.
I play Dominion, so I morale route the other players.
That's why.
This is how Sauron wins all of his games. He's just so much of a fucking cockroach that he waits until people give up and have to go to their day job.
That is untrue. I have met
this is
players
I'll
who
spend 12 hours doing every turn until people have to play at least 3 hours, and then they'll quit.
That's just because he's like not neurotypical, dude. It's okay.
Wait, do I have to pay for this card, bro? I don't want to pay for this.
But now that you have HP, I see your
I
opinion.
hate you, Dark. Well, fuck your UFC.
Just because you
I
don't
hope
want
whoever you're rooting for loses.
I'm not gonna lie, like ever since HP insinuated air is the worst path, I've been kind of like, I don't know, it's got kind of fucked me up a little bit.
Oh, why? Because
he's a loser?
It's such a bad take, or because you like are just looking at it?
Yeah, no, it's
wait.
the best path, I think.
Well-
but I don't want to fucking.
I think that's a dumb. Well, we can do that path next or whatever. But that's a Dom
Next
5
time.
opinion. They cuck that path.
Fucking cuck that path. Why you think like the fucking summon bird? Oh, by 50, my guy's spamming Thunderstrike. He's making the bird instead. Bad path.
Well,
Bro,
he
HP
does.
X4 what guys
It's
is like
Castle
you, but more
Thunderstrike,
intelligent.
unironically.
It's like full of. Oh, we shouldn't get into this, but it's full of shit spells, and it's like.
Hey, stop that, HP. Stop it.
All right, all right. I'll stop.
I'm getting out the spray bottle and the Tanuki pictures.
Oh no.
No, that's.
Tanuki
I
pictures
listen.
just encourage him.
I was about to say
HP is
something
mostly
extremely
annoyed from the
homophobic.
change for the TLDR of they ripped Phantasmals, right? And then they didn't really give too much
Look,
back to air besides Mistform.
They ripped the illusions off of it and gave it back piss.
And then they nerfed air elementals.
They gave it fucking point buff mist form, like the best point buff in the game. Like that's piss.
No, that's great.
Point above
Not
mist
fair.
form is way
Stop it,
worse than
stop it,
body
guys, stop
ethereal.
it.
Yeah.
We're moving back to death.
Yeah.
Let's
Yes.
talk about an actual dog shit path.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, see, air can't be the worst path in the
I'd
game.
rather
because
have
is
death
the worst path in the
as
game.
It can't be the worst because it's the best.
No, okay, so
Air
thinking
sucks.
about air, what about death
Oh,
air? How
no.
many death air cross paths do we have?
We still have 3.
You only
Cloud
need
of
it on
Death
the
is now
jungle
Death
layers.
Air.
Oh wait, no, 4 because there's Ziz. But who cares about Ziz?
I think
Let's go there.
Ziz were buffed and that they're actually usable now. Fight.
There you were.
Killing winds used to be Death's thing, but now it's really hard to see Death being that big of a
The fact that
influence, because now Glamour is a lot more influential. I think Glamour's replaced a lot of the utility Death had as well.
Look,
Which is why I
Brother,
think
you're
it's so
speaking
bad
to the
now.
choir.
Gamer Magic just stole like everything from everybody, and I hate it.
This is the most off-topic.
Okay. However,
Okay, but
Well,
in
no,
this case, it's on
just part
topic.
of why Death is
Oh,
so bad now.
shit, he kneed him in the
Why
head.
Death was what Glamour is now,
No, it
in my
wasn't.
opinion.
what I
Because
No.
Death did so much all at once, and it had so many good crosspaths, and you always wanted Death.
Okay, so I do.
Now,
Death
I do
was
want
sleeper
Glamour is in
underpowered
that
in
exact
Dota.
same position where it has all these good crosspaths and has so many good spells.
because we are. We mentioned Glamour and Death. I do want to bring up that. In the Glamour Death cross path, I know that's a rare cross path, but you get you get fucking personal dread, and you eventually get to start painting dread on your units, and I think that's kind of nutty.
Okay, but the painting spell is Glamour 4 Death 1, and it takes a gem,
Worth
and you only get AoE 5.
Worth
so-
it.
Yeah, but you can just apply the Glamour Death spell to like a communion.
After they shot Fear, I don't think it's that good.
I think it's good.
It's okay on thugs.
It's
like
one of the
glamour.
It's one of the few.
They need
and
to
there are
shoot
more
here,
now,
though.
but it's one of the few things that actually
In my
adds
opinion.
like punch to an army, like combat power, whereas most of the buffs are still like the you can't kill me. But it's like you need something to break the tie break, and Dread will do it.
Mhm.
I don't know.
I
If
think
it's-
we need more. I think the minions need more
add
cool
berserk to
summons.
units. I don't think Dread is that crazy late game, especially when you're gonna get it. Most people
That's
are
fair.
going to have access to something that gives a berserk at the very least.
Yeah, but
Like,
most
I'm
players
telling
are
you-
peanuts.
I know this is entirely off topic, but I'm telling you, we can solve all our Dominions issues by making evocations better and putting more
They're
cool summons.
already
towards the
good.
late game.
They're
them
already
better.
buffed and good.
Make late
They're
game,
already
make
good.
late game evos better, bro. Late game evos and late game and like late mid summons, bro. That's I'm telling you.
Evos are still bad, and I will.
I
You
think
are
Evos
wrong.
are good. I would disagree.
Early
with you.
Evos are fine.
The best
Really?
Evo is in Blood, so I don't agree.
What are you talking about?
What is this
Johnny?
guy smoking?
He's taking life for life.
Leech? Are you kidding me? That path is busted for Evos.
Why would you think that
I
Leech
think
was the
Blood
best
is-
Evo when it's literally
Blood is so much good removal.
Very late in the game, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
very
Yeah,
I'm
late
gonna be
in the
honest.
game.
single
That's all you
target.
fuckers play, and now you're complaining about it?
Okay, somebody's gonna cast Creeping Doom, and you're gonna spam those spells into bugs.
Oh, but you
Cast
get
Firestorm or something.
get you there, Raps. Yeah, if they
Yo,
cast
now we
Creeping
need
Doom, you can
Firestorm.
cast
Oh,
Agony
the
or
fuck
whatever the fuck.
Blood
it is.
Fire, play some Abyssia. Good nation.
I think we should come back to these topics on like blood and air
come.
in a different episode because I like to shit on. I think blood has so much potential. If you hit the D5, like you get leprosy, you get manifestation, which we didn't talk about, and then you get some of like the griefer summons. So I think if you hit that, like you can do some stuff with that. Manifestations remote that can remote assassination. It's been buffed. It's pretty powerful. You can snipe mages, but it comes out so late in the game is the big thing, and you have to climb the death tree through like Mound Fiends or
I mean,
Lamia
like,
Queens.
look, it's a good spell, but it's like one of those.
It's an 8.
It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, if you're gonna spend your D5 mage turn, you know, killing a single guy, right? It's like Mind Hunt, you know. And actually, it's more restrictive than Mine Hunt, but still, it's like, yeah. Okay.
You have to climb the death tree, but if you climb the death tree, which is
You can't-
cancer, by the way.
You can't farm manifestations the way you can disease demons.
Well, and if you miss a manifestation, it'll come and kill your caster. So that's funny.
Nah, that's hype. That's hype.
That
That
is
right
hype.
there is good mechanic.
I mean,
But-
maybe
We need
that's
more
how
shit
should
like
that.
Mind Hunt
Hey,
and
Come at the
Earth
king,
Protector.
you best not miss, okay?
No, mine hunt makes sense for what it is, right? But like I do think they need more like cool interactions. That's what Dominions
Yeah.
needs. Dominion should not try to make itself this like perfectly fair and like
Well,
perfectly
Dominions has
I
never
think
tried
it's
to
just
be
worth
fair.
commenting because like everyone
I
likes
know,
to
but
like
people want to
jack off about like climbing the death tree through like Spectre / Lamia Queens and then the double boosters and shit.
I love
And it's like-
spending
And then
300 gems to be able
you're
to
climbing it for like leprosy or to like cast like immortals. Or
that right there-
Artillery.
So, to start off,
Sorry.
what's the Charm Crown? Where is that at?
that's an
That's a
artifact.
9. That's
Does
a 9.
No, what is it called? Is why I'm asking.
Oh, it's the Crown of Overmight, I think.
Overnight. Yeah.
Overmight, yeah.
Overmight.
Might.
I don't even see it.
Overmight. It's
The
purple
first
and
artifact. It's Fire
Yeah.
5, Earth 3.
yes.
Okay. So if you have something like that, and then you have a mage casting at like an ocean province every turn that's empty, you could get one of these a turn, right?
What the fucking shit, Jack?
What are you talking
No,
about?
Oh,
no,
he's talking about farming fucking
manifestations.
manifestation.
Oh, well, if you're
That's
farming
hype.
manifestation, why not just use control undead instead of the crown
that-
of fucking...
Well, no, you can't script a fucking
Oh,
assassination
yeah,
battle.
fucking hell. Fucking loose. Oh.
I mean, I'd
Actually, look
rather
this info.
like
Oh my
like
god.
be farming
HP is like the
horrors.
reincarnation of Lucid now.
KYS, KYS.
By the way, HP, I saw you
KYS,
uploaded a video
KYS.
today. I'm not going to watch it, so can you tell me what it is?
You did what now?
You uploaded a video today on Abyssia?
Oh, no, that's on the fucking Cave Indie. It's just another Cave Indie one.
Oh, okay.
Lavaborn.
Yeah, we could go back
Yeah,
to this topic.
Lavaborn, which
Off
is
topic. Okay, so back to farming Ashen Angels. Let's
Speaking
say
of my
you had a
dying
death.
YouTube channel.
Let's say you had a Death forecaster, but or no,
I don't
what,
know
do you need Death 5?
You need
You
that
think this
far.
He's
is
get
good?
that 5.
Are you kidding me? This is
How do
terrible.
you
Yes,
get
if
that
you
far?
climb.
Okay,
If you
okay,
climb.
Let's say you go straight up Conj 8 and then you hit Thom for Control Dead, right?
Which has a
Oh my
lot.
god, no, this is terrible. What the fuck?
I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah. I'm like, how are you gonna farm these?
I don't,
Like,
yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
no
think
one
he was
was
ever
talking about
talking.
farming
You
them.
were the only one talking
Yeah,
about
you just
farming
use them
them.
to bop shit, bro. I did that one game. I killed
He's
someone's
just
fucking
talking
pretender.
about like using it plain out, like just casting it on people to kill them.
Yeah,
Well,
I think as a remote attack, like, there's only so many paths to have like remote
This is-
assassinations.
This is the biggest issue with Death, though, is that a lot of the strong spells that you would want to spam, you need like Death 5 to cast.
Yeah, you
you
need
can't
to do
summon
the
witches
whole
anymore.
the dumb
And you can't summon
climb.
liches anymore, bro. Before
And you
you
can't
just
get
summon
liches
liches and give them
anymore.
skull staffs.
You have to get your Death
And
4
fucking-
mage and give them a skull staff, and then you can make them a Death 5 without the skull staff by spending an extra 40
Yeah, but
Death
getting
gems or
to Death
whatever.
4 base is very hard. You have to
Yeah,
Okay,
like-
so
Okay,
what's
but why do
stopping a Death 5 caster from casting Dust to Dust instead of Control the Dead? Let's start there.
Why?
Uh,
What?
The spell AI hates
I-
that spell. Lamau.
I mean,
So should we
Good luck
add
getting-
like a? If we want the farm manifestation, first we have to make a spell AI
Wait,
so they don't.
no,
why are we
hold
trying to
on.
farm
It's
them?
saying
No one's
nobody
trying.
is trying
Who
to
is
farm
talking about
manifestation.
farming manifestations but
Way
you?
off
I
the
am
coast,
right
bro.
now, and I'm trying to work.
No, that's trash.
Yeah, we're not here to workshop it.
We're not
so-
farming
Oh
manifestation.
my
Let's
God.
include this in the mod. So first, let's make manifestation conch 5. Let's start there.
What?
Then we'll
No,
make it
that's
Death
just so
3.
cancer. It's a remote
hold-
assassination.
Let's also make Control the Dead Thom 3 since
Is the manifestation?
Yo,
What?
HP, I am not playing
Dust to
that
Dust
mod.
is Thom
It's
2,
not
so
for
it's
the
only
dead.
fair that
No,
Control the
wait,
Dead
wait.
would be Thom 3.
No, Dark
No,
Wolf,
no.
Johnny doesn't have any control over the shit I mod into the shit.
Okay, good.
Stop.
All right, I think
Because
we've
I'm worried
exhausted
we're going to
the
be
topic.
All we
playing
do is make
Magic
good
Exploded last week.
suggestions.
Okay, so to wrap it up, I think the
Stick
school
with
has utility, and getting stealthy rating and other unique things or battlefield clears is good. But in general, like early in the game, it's super flat unless you have some niche turbo. But in general, I like the ability to like enter water, which can be hard. Like you guys say, oh, anyone can enter. No, they can't. It's not that easy.
I mean,
Death is
Okay, so to wrap this up, we're going to say if you're attacked within the first 12 turns as a Death Nation, you're boned.
Okay.
Pun intended.
no, you're not. You're gonna cast your other spells. You're gonna do other shit.
Your other spells that all cast more skeletons that die the exact same way as all your other
Yeah,
skeletons.
that's true. If you get countered as death, you get countered, you're fucked. GG.
I mean, this
well
was our
played.
whole argument on why Nazca sucks. So
I mean,
Listen, I'm with you on it.
just
I
Nazca
think-
sucks, every Death Nation sucks, and they have
just
death.
because you are
That's-
unwilling
that's
to
not true, but
gem
Chaka
into
could.
Sulfur Haze is not my problem.
Machaka's
I'm
not a
unwilling
death
to gem
nation.
into
They don't
Horde of
do
they
Still,
nerfed
death
the
nation.
clouds. What do you mean?
Okay,
The clouds are still good.
If they nerf
Listen,
the clouds,
I-
they nerf the
Dude,
nation. The
Are
nation
we?
is bad.
HP
poison
never
clouds
used
are-
Cloudcraft.
Are
Poison
we
clouds
done?
are
'Cause I wanna
decent,
ask
but
a
the other
question.
ones suck ass.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming. My name's Dark Wolf. That's Rob ZA. That's HP Munchcraft. That's Sora. That's Turnip, and that's for what? And you can't see it, but I'm currently pointing at my screen right now. Now, before you sign off today, I want you to answer in the comments. If it is your last mixed martial arts fight, and you have been knocked out in your last 3 fights, are you going to invite your kids to come watch you fight somebody on your last fight that has gotten 12 knockouts in his last 12 fights? Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you next time. Signing off.
the name of the podcast is Dominion 6 Rise of the Podcaster.